From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger, and I'm recording this at about 5:30. So as it gets ready for the 6 o'clock in the evening update, that's when you're looking at as far as this radar is concerned. Again, this is as of about 5:30 this evening on this Friday. As you can see on the time clock there, about 5:25. Now you can see here, looking at a loop here, we actually saw some, quite honestly, some unexpected activity develop. And some pretty strong activity too. Some pretty strong thunderstorms developed in southern and even central and northern, really just kind of scattered areas across Trinity County. We also saw some activity in parts of Humboldt County as well, even a lot of lightning strikes as well. We're even seeing some light and minor activity in parts of the valley, northern Shasta County, and even into Siskiyou County as well. So let's take a look at the latest radar as of 5:30, and you can see down into southern Trinity County, you're seeing some of the rain, some of the lightning strikes, and that green box just below Hayfork, south of Hayfork, including the town of Peanut. There is a flood advisory until 6 o'clock this evening. So by the time you're watching this, the flood advisory will have either expired or been updated, but you can see the activity doesn't look to be getting that much stronger. In the meantime, we take you off to the west here in extreme eastern portions of Humboldt County. You can see some pretty strong thunderstorms there, switching over to the radar site out of Eureka. You can see over Dinsmore and north of that, even south of that, that line of some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, lightning, and most likely some hail associated with this as well. Just kind of zooming it out here, you can see more of the scattered activity here, mainly east of Highway 101 and south of Highway 299. However, north of 299, between Arcata and Oric, you are seeing a few scattered showers there and over the ocean as well. Meanwhile, we also take you out to extreme northern Trinity County and parts of Siskiyou County as well, where we got that thunderstorm, of course, just out towards, well, just to the north and east of, between Etna and Weaverville, let's just put it that way. And then, of course, some of those showers that we do have out towards parts of Siskiyou County as well. This will probably continue into the evening hours, but I do anticipate that overnight we'll probably still see some showers in some areas here as that moisture has pretty much moved on in. So we do also expect a big drop in our temperatures for your Friday and Saturday with that chance for showers and thunderstorms, both Friday and Saturday now. And it looks like the warm start to fall. You know, Monday is the first day of fall, and it's going to feel more like summer. Temperatures flirting with that triple-digit mark, but cooling down next week. And next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, seeing a chance for showers. However, the forecast models, long-range forecast models, seem to disagree on that a bit here, but keeping that chance in there nonetheless. All right, we've got a lot to talk about in our deeper dive forecast. You saw that in the headlines, but let's take a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Just a quick look at your forecast for tonight and through the day tomorrow. So tonight, I do expect mostly cloudy skies. There are going to be some scattered showers out there, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm as well. Temperatures generally in the mid-60s for the valley, 40s and 50s for the higher elevations. Now, tomorrow morning, out the door, I think it's going to be mostly cloudy, but some of us could see a few stray showers out there as we go into the morning hours. The wet weather has arrived. We've seen that. We saw that on the radar for some of us, not everybody. And I do think that by the time we do get into early tomorrow morning, we're going to start kind of enter into other areas that haven't seen rain just yet. So there's that big plume of moisture down to our south, that area of clouds over all of California, working its way into Nevada as well. That is all remnants from earlier this week. We were talking about Tropical Storm Mario. All of that moisture has worked northward, and as a result, we're seeing those showers and thunderstorms. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Not the best representation of what we've seen here, but you can see there could be some scattered activity. Maybe even an isolated thunderstorm, especially out towards the north and west. Now, it looks like another little push of moisture comes in tomorrow morning. So parts of the valley, maybe your morning commute, getting the kids off to school, you might be dealing with, I'd say a sprinkle, some light showers is what it looks like at this point. However, Futurecast did not do the best in this evening in presenting any rain. So could it be a little heavier? Could there be an isolated thunderstorm? It's not out of the question. And you can clearly see that as we go through the afternoon, chances for thunderstorms. Now, I think the best chances for thunderstorms will be in the mountains, but I do also think the valley has that chance. We can't rule out that chance for a thunderstorm, including the valley, for your Friday afternoon. Then Friday night, there's that rain off towards western Siskiyou County. We see a bit of a break, but then we've got more coming in for Saturday, which we'll get into in our deeper dive. So, as I mentioned, I think the best chances for thunderstorms will be in the higher elevations, but even the valley, we can't rule it out. But look at the temperatures. Look at those temperatures. Much, much cooler. Temperatures in the low 80s. However, I'll say this. It is going to be a lot more muggy out there. This is a tropical air mass that has moved into Northern California, and that's the moisture source for these showers and thunderstorms, but also the source for the humid atmosphere. So let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Now, there could be a chance for a stray shower, maybe even a thunderstorm, especially for the north end of the valley on Saturday. But otherwise, I think most of it will be in the mountains. And then there's that chance Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be kind of tweaking those numbers here and the potential for showers here in the days to come. But taking a look at the 7-day outlook for the coast, showers, possible thunderstorms even for your Friday. But Saturday, I think you'll be dry. Inland, thunderstorms tomorrow, as well as Trinity County, and a chance for Trinity County on Saturday. And I don't have the chance inland. However, extreme eastern portions of northeastern Humboldt County and, say, eastern Del Norte County may see a stray shower or thunderstorm. And then, as I mentioned, by Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe another chance for showers. Now, for the rest of the mountains, Siskiyou, Modoc County, the eastern mountains, you got a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow and also on Saturday, and then by Sunday, Monday, you're dry, right? And then maybe another chance for showers going into Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, that's a look at your Krueger's Quickcast. Let's go and take a look at what's going on with the fire danger out there and the fire weather risk, sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service. So what you'll notice here, look at tomorrow. Look at the humidity levels. We're looking at humidity levels 30, 40, over 50%. That's pretty high for us. So when we're used to 10%, 15, 20%, and we get into the 30 to even 50% range, it starts feeling a bit more muggy out there, doesn't it? This is not Florida humidity. This is not Bahamas humidity, but it's humid for us, and we're definitely going to feel that here for tomorrow afternoon. That's also that source for those thunderstorms that we will see on Saturday. You see that humidity levels are starting to drop a little bit. We're back down to the 20s and 30% range. That's because the moisture source is beginning to move out. However, I still think, especially in the mountains, there'll be enough leftover moisture that we can see some of those thunderstorms. All right, so here's a look at the satellite image. That's the area of low pressure kind of spinning. This is what's going to be moving northward. This is also what's also going to help to kind of squeeze out some of that moisture for tomorrow. But clearly see all of that moisture that's moved into Northern California and even into Nevada. For tomorrow, there's that chance for thunderstorms, and now the Storm Prediction Center is getting on board by including a chance for thunderstorms on Saturday as well. Once again, I was talking about this even the last few days, that Saturday still will have some leftover moisture, even though a lot of the moisture will have moved out. All right, so here's what we have at 6 p.m. today. I think this is good. I think this is a fairly good representation. Basically, just kind of outlining the fact that we could see some scattered showers, even this evening, and maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. All right, and then we take you into tonight. Let's take you to tomorrow morning. There's that next batch of moisture coming in. Now, I think as we go into tomorrow morning, in the valley, maybe a sprinkle, a light shower possibility. And, you know, as I mentioned, forecast model hasn't been doing the best job with this. So it might even be a little bit heavier than that and may even be a little bit more widespread. But overall, it doesn't look to start off very heavy. And then as we go into the afternoon, we're going to get a little bit more of that activity really popping up. We've got showers and thunderstorms in the mountains. We could see a stray shower in the valley through the day tomorrow, including even an off chance for a thunderstorm. But I do think that the best chances for thunderstorms will be in the higher elevations, but some of those could work their way into the valley through Friday afternoon. Here's Friday night, midnight into Saturday morning. You still see a little bit of activity in along the coast here, right? Then it quiets down. We see a quiet start to the day on Saturday as expected. And then we go into the afternoon. Look what's happening. The thunderstorms are beginning to pop up in the higher elevations, and this activity will generally move to the east. So any thunderstorms that develop to the west of the valley could make their way into parts of the north end of the valley, Redding, maybe Red Bluff. 6 p.m. Saturday, you can see it's already starting to kind of wind itself down. So those chances are looking pretty slim in the valley, but I still have that slight chance out towards, say, Redding, down to Red Bluff, that potential for maybe some of those to roll into the valley. Otherwise, I think Corning, Chico, southward, most likely dry all day on Saturday. Then by Saturday night, it's pretty much over with. There may be some leftover shower activity for some of the mountains here, but then as we go into Sunday, Monday, it's drier and much warmer. I want to illustrate something here because look at this. This is just doing a terrible job, if you ask me, on the rainfall totals. I think it's showing a pretty decent job that, yeah, most of the rain and totals will be in the higher elevations, but it's showing zero accumulating rain in the valley. I don't know if that's necessarily a good representation. Here's a different forecast model, and it's only showing 1/4 of an inch of rainfall in parts of Siskiyou County. As you start getting into the blue here, that's maybe about 1/2 of an inch of rainfall. So, I think we could see upwards of 1/2 an inch, maybe more in some of the higher elevations. But overall, the numbers on the previous map, on this map, do not take those home and tell everybody how much rain you're going to get based on those maps, because I don't think that's a good representation. The thing is, with a storm system like this, it just depends on where you are, and it just depends on where those stronger thunderstorms develop is where we're going to really see the most amount of rainfall. But I think some people, a lot more rain than others, and that can include your neighbor across the street, quite honestly. All right, now let's switch gears. Let's talk about those temperatures. You see a nice drop in our temperatures on Friday, but they're creeping back up. Look at that. First day of fall on Monday. We're back up to about 100 degrees here, and then temperatures drop again, back up. A little bit of a mini roller coaster ride going through next week as well. All right, so that's what it looks like here over the next 10 days, kind of up and down with those temperatures here. First day of fall feels more like summer, but feeling more like fall after that first day. Then by tomorrow, look at the wave heights. They're actually starting to drop. This is good news for those of you that do need to be on a small boat, and that'll be the case on Saturday as well. So that hazardous seas warning should be allowed to expire here this evening into tonight. Here is a look at your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. For Trinity County, you've got those temperatures in the 80s. So here's what we've got. Friday, I think thunderstorms. I think we can see more thunderstorms on Saturday. Then by Sunday, Monday, we're dry. Still a question mark about the rain on Tuesday, Wednesday. We are seeing some big discrepancies in the long-range forecast models for Tuesday and Wednesday, so we'll keep a close eye on there. I'm going to keep it in there just for now, just as a heads up. But there you can see some of the showers we'll see for the coast. Probably not a lot of thunderstorm activity for the immediate coast, but the inland areas, yes. I think you will see the potential for thunderstorms as we take you to the north end of the coast, sponsored by Dignity Health here. There you can see on Saturday. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I think places like Orleans, Hoopa, Willow Creek may see a stray shower or thunderstorm Saturday afternoon, but I think the bulk of the activity will be east of the North Coast in general. Your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, your temperatures mainly in the 80s. There's that chance for thunderstorms here for both tomorrow and Saturday, and then by Sunday, Monday, you're dry. And as I mentioned, that discrepancy in the forecast models Tuesday, Wednesday, but I'm keeping that chance in there. And for Modoc County, thunderstorms for tomorrow and Saturday, but it does look like we are going to dry things out and warm it up too as we go into the weekend and early next week. That's the same thing for the eastern mountains as well, drying out, warming up as we go into Monday in particular. Let's take a look at your Dignity Health Valley neighborhood forecast, and you can see temperatures. Look at this, struggling to get out of the 70s if at all. You're talking 79 for a high in Los Molinos, 77 for Hamilton City and Chico, about 78 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Chico. 78, 79, somewhere in that range here with that chance for showers. And then Saturday, Sunday, it's warming up again. You're back up to 90 on Sunday, 96 for the first day of fall on Monday. Cooler as we go into next week with that chance for showers come Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, we take you up to the north, 82 degrees for Redding, 82 for Anderson, Red Bluff about 80, and Lakehead about 80 degrees as well. Looking at your 7-day forecast for Redding, there it is, that rain, chance for thunderstorms tomorrow. And again, I think the north end of the valley may see a stray shower, maybe an isolated thunderstorm late in the day. We're talking late Saturday afternoon into the evening. Otherwise, it will be dry on Saturday. Then on Sunday, Monday, it's really warming up. I think we could be flirting with that 100-degree mark on the first day of fall, the autumnal equinox on Monday. That's the first day of fall. But temperatures will drop after that, back down to the mid to upper 80s, even to the low 90s for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and again, maybe a chance for those showers come Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, that's your evening update. Be sure to check in tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for your latest. We take a look at the latest forecast models, a deep dive on Friday morning as well, and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30 for all the latest on this moisture moving through and giving us that chance for thunderstorms. Until then, have a great night.